Not too long ago, I was doing an exploratory call with a prospective client named Lindsay, and she was looking for someone to kick off their annual event with a bang, to do something unique and different. Now, these are all meeting and event planners. This is a worldwide organization, and these are people who are seasoned networkers. It's a critical part of what they do. Now, you've got those 20, 30-year vets in the industry. You've got brand new people coming, so you have a wide range of experience levels, a wide range of markets and industries they work in, and she said, we need something unique and different. And she told me, Brian, I don't just want another inspirational keynote. I don't just want someone to come in and give us a bunch of hype that we can't do anything with after, and that the second they leave, nothing changes. She wanted something interactive, engaging, and something that was practical that they could use to actually impact their personal and professional relationships. So I said to her, the Non-Cringey networking keynote is perfect for this because it's designed to bring value to even the most seasoned networkers and people who are just getting started and give them practical real-world experience and tools that they can use in session. So in these past few videos, we've talked about reframing what is the issue with networking, that it is not a people problem, it's a design problem. That's the first thing to understand. Then in video 2, we talked through the first problem that people need to address in networking is not actually what do you say or what's your one-liner or your opening line. In actuality, the thing that we have to be conscious of as event planners, as MCs, as keynote speakers, as people coordinating these events is if we don't set our audience up to deal with the fear of the approach first, it doesn't really matter what comes after that. Most people will stop before they even start, or their interactions will be awkward because they haven't addressed the fear first. And in that video, I gave you one of my favorite techniques to do so. So creating a more accessible environment, a more open environment, and making sure that people have ways to deal with the fear before they even get started, before they even realize it's entering their mind, you're already setting your event up for far more success. Then in our last video, we talked about some of the most common mistakes that occur in designing networking events. One is just using networking as a break, assuming it'll happen in the breaks between the actual sessions. 2 is using activities like tell a fun fact about yourself. And if you're wondering why, if you're just starting with this video, jump back to the last one because that is one of the least effective and most problematic networking activities that most people use. Then one of the biggest mistakes is prioritizing title over connection. If you start to put people into a hierarchy, you are damaging their ability to connect, and you're devaluing human connection by prioritizing years in the business or job titles. All of that is a disservice when it comes to actually building meaningful connections that build your business and build your personal relationships as well. When Lindsay told me all these things about her session, I said, okay, these are people who've seen networking. They've done it before. They do it every day. How do we give them something new and innovative? And also, how do we set up people who are new in their careers to succeed? And as a speaker or any form of presenter or facilitator, I always tell my clients, the way I view it is this, is that you have 2 audiences at every event. There's the audience you're booked to speak to, which in this case was the meeting and event planners attending this session, and the person or group booking you. If you do not make both of those groups incredibly happy, you have failed as a speaker or as a presenter. You need to make sure you're delivering for the audience, giving them a memorable, meaningful, and impactful presentation, and that you keep the event on time for the people booking you, you deliver on the promises you make to them, and you're communicating effectively throughout the process. That's prior, leading up to, coordinating the event, during, and after. That is a full circle networking and business development approach that you need to make sure that you are preparing for the event effectively, delivering at the event, and following up accordingly after. And these are the same principles I teach to people in how they network and coordinate at the events, because now you want to prep for your event, go and participate, make connections, and then follow up with those connections after. And Lindsay told me this is an award-winning chapter of this organization. Every year they're raising the bar to try and do bigger and better and more impressive things. They're always looking for something new and innovative. So the bar is incredibly high. By the end of this event, she actually did a testimonial video for me and said, Brian is a meeting planner's dream. She said the event was a 10 out of 10. The results were incredible. The way he engaged, the way he connected people. We had practical tips, all of that and more. And that for me that's exactly why I do this, is I want to make sure the audience is blown away. The coordinators are blown away. The people bringing me in have the same experience. One of my favorite things to see at these events is when the person who's booked me or the organization that has booked me relaxes into the event and can just enjoy the event themselves, knowing I've got them fully under control. You see, at this event, I did the keynote and I emceed the entire event. So I made sure the event stayed on time. I adjusted things even in my own presentation when some of the previous presentations went over to get us back on track so that we didn't lose a beat moving into the next session. So when you can create an event that the participants enjoy and that the planners and coordinators that are bringing you in, that they go, great, you've got it. It's in your hands. They trust you completely. They know you're going to communicate. You enable them to enjoy all of their hard work. A lot of coordinators and planners actually spend more time coordinating logistics or fighting fires during their events than actually enjoying their events. And for me, it's a real high mark to be able to give them the gift of being able to enjoy all their hard work as well. And that's just on the coordinator side. When we start to use and apply these techniques of this non-cringy networking process I've developed, and we use that science, that psychology, and that practical application that sets people up to succeed, the results are incredible. I got to speak at the Empire State Building for another organization. And this girl, Rachel, who also gave me a testimonial video, said, normally I'm the person who hides out in the corner. I hate networking events. I don't know what to do or say. She goes, this was so accessible. This gave me tools. I'm actually excited about networking, and I've never been excited before. That type of response for me is what is the power in effective design when it comes to networking. Because we all know we want more networking. We want to grow. We want to expand. We want to meet new people. We want to build our businesses. We want to establish great new relationships. But it's often that fear that stops us, and there's no process to get us through. When we design in a way, we can have meeting planners and coordinators thrilled. Can't wait to have you back. We can have participants saying, I've never enjoyed networking before. And this is actually one of the most common responses for the people that typically don't like networking. They say, I either never enjoyed it before, or I've never enjoyed it this much. And typically after that, they say, and I can't wait for the next one. I'm ready to apply this. I'm ready to go use this. And they get to use it in the session and already feel the results. I had other experienced networkers say, Brian, a guy named Doug said, Brian, I've been in the industry 20 years. I've never seen anything like this. And you got to keep sharing this. You got to bring this to more people. Another person said they've been in 20, 25 years, same thing. So that is the power of effective networking design, is that the people who've been doing this forever, who think they've seen it all, you can give them something new, give them a better experience, give them that experience live in the event so they actually feel the shift, and give them the techniques to use going forward. That is the power of effective design. That's how non-cringy networking, both the keynote and the workshop, are developed. And this is something that can make an incredible difference in your upcoming events. Again, small tweaks, small shifts, understanding the process and the flow, sequencing things appropriately, avoiding the most common mistakes, what can lead to the greatest events you've had yet, the greatest results, the greatest connections, which also means people keep coming back to your events. They invest in the groups, they join your programs because they go, this is an experience unlike anything I ever had. And I made connections that potentially could last a lifetime, if not being wonderful new connections for even a period of my life. That is the power of effective networking. And in our final video of this series, we're going to go through the 5 things you need to address in order to set up your participants, your groups, your organizations for success in networking from beginning to end. This is the full circle. This closes everything out so that these 5 things, if you design to address these, your events will be top tier. They will stand out head and shoulders. These are the types of events people go, this was unforgettable. This is unlike anything I've ever experienced. So click into the next video to find out what are those 5 things you need to address in design to make sure your event has the maximum impact for teaching your audience and showing them how to network better than ever before.